Toronto real estate market just had its craziest July since 2021, and it's not what you think. We've had the lowest average price since 2021. We're over 30,000 listings, and the average for the 10 years at this time should have been around 18,000. A lot of these condos right now, especially in downtown, that are selling, a lot of them are selling below purchase price. You're going to be sitting on the market because not a lot of buyers are out there looking for a product like one-bedroom studios, things that are not end user friendly. Guys, before we go any further, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share it with anyone that would find this useful. Now let's go back. Toronto real estate market just had its craziest July since 2021, and it's not what you think. It's not in the luxury market, it's actually in the condo segment and mid-range towns and semis. Today, we're gonna know exact price points and property types that had the most gains in July. Now let's get into it. Welcome to Reality Check, where we discuss what's happening in Toronto's real estate market, where it's going, and help you make informed decision buying and selling real estate. I'm here with Sanaz.
Hi, everyone.
And we're gonna talk about what's going on in pretty much midsummer right now.
What's going on, Nima?
So for the 3 months in a row since April, May, June, we had an increase in number of sale activity. And that was a bright sign because we've been coming out of a slump that happened earlier in the year. So in April, we had just over 5,600 sales. In May, that increased to 6,200. In June, we were at 6,243, and now we're at 6,100. So month over month, we're actually slightly lower, but year over year, we're up about 11%. Okay, so we're gonna look at how the July was in the last couple of years, because I myself was kind of shocked when I heard the news. So this year we had 6,100 sales. 2024, last year, we were about 5,500 sales. The year before it, 5,200, and 2022, which was pretty much after the interest rates went up, market slowed down drastically, and July was super quiet. We had just over 4,800 sales. Yeah. But keep that in mind that back in 2022, when the sales were down, the active listings were over 15,000. So it was 15,300. Right now, we're sitting at over 30,000 listings, so twice as many listings. So that has actually pushed the months of inventory drastically higher, because in 2022, we had just over 3 months of inventory. Right now, we're close to 5 months of inventory. Last year, it was 4.3 months, and the year before it, it was 2.94 months of inventory. So because of the increase in the months of inventory, whenever the months of inventory goes up, the average sale price decreases. So right now, we've had the lowest average price since 2021. Even though we've had the highest number of sales, we've had the lowest average sale price. So in 2021, the average sale price was sitting at $1,061,000. Right now, we're sitting at $1,051,000, almost $1,052,000 average sale price. So that's something to take into consideration. And this is, in my opinion, the reason why the sale volume has grown, because the prices have come down and a lot of people are getting in the market. So we want to see which segments actually increased in number of sales and which price points. So let's get into it. Guys, before we go any further, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share it with anyone that would find this useful. Now let's go back. I want to talk about overall 416 and 905 area, and just combine the entire GTA area and see which segments, first of all, had the highest increase, and then talk about their actual price points. And then what we're going to do is compare Toronto and York region and see how they perform and which segment was the hottest in each area. We're going to see which segment of the market combining GTA had the highest growth in sales volume. So semi-detached had the highest growth at over 25%. After that was the detached market at 11.3%, then townhomes at 7.9%, and condos saw 5.8% increase in sales. In terms of average price, overall, everything was down. Condo prices were down over 9%. Townhomes were down over 7%. Semi-detached was down over 2%, and detached was down over 5%. And again, in my opinion, the reason we see higher sales activity is because, first of all, there might be certainty coming back to the market, and people are seeing price points that they've never seen before. As an example, we had a listing recently that a detached home at a 60-foot frontage was up for sale for about $1,250,000. Comparable to that few months ago, almost the same condition, I would say even like more original, at a 40 lot, sold for 1.15. Technically, this house should have been 1.3, 1.35, but this actually, majority of the people that were coming, they weren't even hitting over 1.3. So that goes to show people are out there. We had 11 offers on it. People were out there looking at these properties, but they are not paying that top dollar anymore. They're being very careful about their pricing. So I think that's why we see the sales number grow.
Don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Now we want to go look at the sales by price range and housing types, because that will determine where the actual activity came from. Now we know that semi-detached market had a pretty high increase in sales volume, and the condos, but we want to see which segment of it. So let's start with the entry-level condos in 416, and we're talking about condos below 600,000, 400 to 600,000. 416 area saw over 13% increase in sales. York region,
Wow.
which is great. York region saw 17% increase. Between the price point of 600 to 799, 416 saw an increase of over 16%. York region saw over 11%. So these are one of the highest increases in sales volume. So now the semi-detached market between 900 to a million in 416 area rose by 18.5%, York region by about 16%. In a price point over 1 million to about 1.25, 416 was over 15%, York region was over 13%. Talking about the detached market, that saw one of the highest increases in sales volume. The highest increase came in the price point between 1 million to 1,250,000. In 416 area in Toronto proper went up 14%. York region went up by 12.5%. And the luxury market, well, I mean, like in York region, it's considered, I would say, luxury, but in Toronto, luxury is probably over 3.5, 4 million, but over $2 million price point, 416 saw about 6.8% increase, and York region saw 8.1%.
Great numbers.
Yeah. And same thing with townhomes. Again, townhomes between 6 to 800,000 saw in Toronto about 17.5% increase. York region over 13%, and between 800 to 900, it was over 12% and over 9% in York region. So York region had the biggest percentage jump in entry-level condos under 600,000. So 600,000 price point, York region saw a huge
17%.
sales activity. And we had a client, we were looking at condos there, and a lot of condos that were sitting on the market since January started to get absorbed because they dropped the prices down. We saw a condo that was listed originally for 630, dropped down to 599, and at the end of it, it ended up asking 499. So, and that wasn't even with an offer date. It was just like, bring an offer, you can take it. So this is the reason why you see huge sales increases in certain price points. In the Toronto area, the biggest growth came from mid-priced townhomes and semis with over 15% increase in sales. And in the luxury market in York region, over $2 million, we had the highest growth for the detached. That was over 8% increase. And, it was pretty much the demand in Richmond Hill, Newmarket, Aurora. So those higher end price points started to get more attention. Okay, so I want to get into a few numbers that show where the demand lies, where the supply lies, and help everyone understand where we are in the market. And if someone wants to either sell, what they should think about. And if they're looking to buy, should they buy now or should they wait? So first thing we look at is what the total sale volume has been. I mean, we're hovering as of June over 6,100, and the average 10-year sale figure should have been at about 8,700, so almost 8,800. So average volume of sale right now is well below the 10-year average, which sits at around 8,800. So with that being said, the active listings have shot up drastically higher. We're over 30,000 listings. And the average for the 10 years at this time should have been around 18,000 homes for sale. So because of that, right now, 1/3 of the homes are selling. So 1 in every 3 home in GTA is selling. It should have been almost half of them selling. So the demand is not as high as the supply of homes. And this is why we see months of inventory of
It's going
around
high, yeah.
5 months. So with that being said, the listing figures for different types of properties, they break down. So we have the highest right now in detached overall in GTA with over 14,000 detached homes on the market. Condos are sitting at over 10,000, not considering the assignment market. And semi-rows and towns are sitting at over 6,600 units available. So let's talk about the condo market and let's see where the future of condo market would be, let's say, for the rest of the year. So the inventory of condos are rising, and there is no hiding that, because there's a lot of condos coming into occupancy this year. We're almost 8 months into it, and there's a lot of occupancy and closings happening for the remainder of the year. So let's just call it another maybe 10,000 units coming into occupancy this year. Next year is another 22,000 coming. So what does that mean for a seller if you're in a condo market and you want to sell? So as a seller in this market, if you're thinking of selling your condo, you need to be priced right. You need to be looking your best, and you need to make sure you're priced in a way that doesn't help another listing sell.
100%.
So if you have a unique feature in a condo, such as a view, design, something that's special, maybe you can command a premium. But if you got a cookie cutter downtown 1-bedroom with nothing really special going for it, you're only competing on price. And if you're not priced properly, you're going to be sitting on the market, because not a lot of buyers are out there looking for a product like 1-bedroom studios, things that are not end user friendly. So you need to keep that in mind. As a buyer, if you're in the condo market, you're having a great day because there's a lot of options to choose from. And as we can see, the price points have dropped so low right now that in around the 500,000 price point, there
Many
is a
options
lot of
available.
there's a lot of options available for people to choose from. And especially for people that I see investors right now looking for condos. Previously, you'd have to buy maybe an older condo below 500,000. Right now, you can grab, newer condo, let's say less than 5 years old. And the benefit of that is that you're not going to be rent controlled. So each year you can increase your rent as you see fit. So that's the benefit of being in the market right now as an investor and finding products that are priced super competitive. A lot of these condos right now, especially in downtown, that are selling, a lot of them are even selling below purchase price. So puts you in a great position to be purchasing. Guys, this is pretty much going to end the discussion about where the market is currently. And pretty much next time we're going to see you, probably we're going to be in fall market.
Oh my God, summer is gone.
Summer is going to be gone. And hopefully things get better. We didn't see any interest rate drops, but I'm guessing there should be at least 1 or 2 coming by the end of the year. And that should spark things up. Guys, as always, if you like this, hit that subscribe, like, and share it with your friend. And we'll see you next time.